Let's get into it. It's crime o'clock, yeah, feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick-tock, won't stop, let the facts talk. Pull up real close, yeah, it's crime o'clock. Clock, clock, yeah. Typically new, yeah. Neon signs glow, brick wall behind me. Headlines loud, but they never define me. They rush the story, skip the proof. I slow it down, let it show the truth. Files on deck, read every line. Timestamps matter, so does time. If it don't fit, I don't force the frame. Ask one question, whole story change. No fear my voice, no need to shout. Paper speaks when you read it out. If the math's off, I'll circle twice. Truth ain't loud, but it ain't nice. Yeah. Read it again. It's crime o'clock, yeah. Feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop. Let the facts talk. Pull up real close, yeah. It's crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock. Read it again. They sell a narrative if I sell receipts. Courtroom quiet, but the pages speak. Word for word, no added spin. Let it stand, yeah. Let that sink in. Screenshot save, timeline's tight. Missing pieces keep me up at night. If they say elected, I say why. If they say case closed, I say try. No rush here, we do it right. Truth don't bend for the likes of hype. If you came for noise, you in the wrong spot. This is evidence, this is crime o'clock. Clock, clock, clock. Stay with me. This isn't background noise. This is pattern recognition. This is documents. This is crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock, yeah. Feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop. Let the facts talk. Say it with me now. Crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock. Typically unique. It's crime o'clock. Yeah. If you're here, you're early. If you're listening, you're paying attention. Show starts now.
Welcome back to Crime O'Clock on Typically Unique. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. Please hit that like button on your way in. We should be having an interesting discussion today, a little bit investigation. We will see, but I cannot do this by myself. I got to bring up Dago with me. Dago's joining me, you guys. Hello, sir.
Good morning. How are ya?
I'm good. Tired thanks to your live last night.
Sorry.
It was
was
too
too.
good to miss.
It was a good one. I'll say that much. It was a surprise for sure. I didn't even plan on it, but I was sitting in the Discord talking to the peeps, you guys, the crew,
Yeah.
and was reading some stuff, and something just flipped in my head, and I said, you know what? I gotta go do this right now. And then Lana joined us. That was awesome. So it was a great show. And thank you very much for joining us.
A lot of people there. Lots of us. Let me know in the chat how many of you are tired today.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it was great. No, well worth it. Well worth it. And I want to talk about something from that before we get into what I want to talk about today. But
moving from your intro. Damn, that's catchy. I like that. Anyway, thank you for having me this morning.
Yeah. I wasn't supposed to go live today because my sister was supposed to come in, but apparently she's sick. So we're rescheduling. So I was like, we're going to do a show.
Hey. Let's do it.
All right. So last night we were talking a lot about Cy-Ray.
Yeah.
Okay. And I brought something up and I felt like I didn't explain it well enough. And I am a person who I often think I've done this my whole life. I don't know what it is with my brain. I see things differently. I think about things differently. It's not always right. And I know I understand that. However, I've always been willing to share it because at the very least it opens up a conversation and allows maybe more information to come out or things like that. The downside of that is I have found in my life, I don't know why, but I feel like I get looked down on for that. I don't know. I don't know if I'm making myself look stupid because I'm willing to like ask questions that maybe no one wants to ask, or that I'm taking a chance of them being wrong. But I do it anyways because I know I'm not stupid.
No, of course not. No, no, no. And I think anybody that thinks somebody's stupid because they're asking questions, you need to rethink yourself, in my opinion. Because, and I've said this, I've heard this growing up. The only stupid question is the one you don't ask. When you have a thought in your mind that makes you want to question something, if you don't ask that question, what are you doing? That's so no. I appreciate the questions you ask, because your questions make me think sometimes too. So keep doing what you do. I love it. So
Thank you. And it's not like direct called out stupid. It's
right.
just, especially in my career. Like I did this a lot in my career, just exploring things and stuff like that. And sometimes it's statements I make. It's not always a question, it's an observation, but I don't know. That's my own probably insecurity of dealing with it. So anyways, getting all that out there. Um we were talking about Ray, and here's my dilemma. I still have this thinking. So I was trying to say, first of all, when I say I've heard this, it's not that like how a lot of information about this case is like rumors. It's not that. I didn't hear a rumor. I've read the preview of Ray's book, and I've heard many YouTubers that I highly, highly respect giving different takes
Mhm.
on this whole thing. Okay. And I've heard different versions. So what I should have said is what I've taken from all of that. So it's kind of my own thought. So my own thought from what I've heard is that they're saying Ray is saying they have the right guy, and there's a corrupt investigation, a bad investigation, bad evidence. And I'm trying to make that make sense. How and why would those two things make sense? Because I can
Right.
understand there's a bad investigation, but if there is nothing, everything is bad. The car evidence, the DNA, there's no eyewitness, there's no motive. So if all of that is bad, corrupt, inaccurate, how do you justify saying he's the right guy? That's what I'm struggling with.
I gathered that last night when you were saying it. See, how I took it from what he said within the email and the statements from the book was maybe a little bit different. Trying to think of how to say it. I think what he's saying, what I think is, this is just my opinion, you guys. That's how
Right.
and
Yeah. And it's
I'm
all interpretation until we hear from him.
yeah, my interpretation, and it's all everybody's just going to be different. Truly understand that. So, um, I think what he's saying is that he believes Brian is absolutely guilty. He's the one. He's where he needs to be.
Right.
But what he believes, because he did say both things can be correct at the same time.
I don't
One being
understand.
Brian being guilty, and two that the okay. Let me rephrase this so it sounds right, because I'm struggling with it too. What he believes, in my opinion, is that he thinks yes, Brian's guilty. What the problem is how they made him guilty, how they got him convicted. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. Because of the
So,
investigation.
okay. So, and I see, thank you, Lady Speedwell. So they made the evidence fit badly.
Yes. They convicted him on corrupted evidence. They forced the evidence because they didn't have enough, like Lana was saying last night. They didn't have enough to actually convict him the right way, the legal way, the way that they should have. So in turn, they perverted and corrupted the investigation to make sure that they convicted him. That's how I see it.
Right. And I've thought through that. And I'm like, okay, so like the DNA. Okay.
Uh-huh.
If there's DNA on the sheath and you take the DNA off the sheath and okay, so they screwed up the label on the packaging, whatever, like that's a stupid mistake that they could have made, or a corrupt mistake they could have made, but there's still DNA.
Yeah.
It goes to the lab. If they do everything wrong, they're not proving it's him.
Right.
I don't know. I guess
See,
maybe he's saying they did a lot of things wrong, but it's still
Yeah.
him. But then why aren't we seeing that when we read stuff?
That's where my problem is at too. That's what I was saying to Lana last night. And I think like Lana kind of, and I'm not saying it in a negative way, but she contradicted herself last night because it's that difficult to deal with. Like I don't see, like I said last night, I don't see anything, and I mean nothing, you guys, absolutely zilch of anything that puts Brian Koberger in that crime anywhere. I can't. I've tried. I looked, like I said last night, there's nothing that puts him there. So in my opinion, Thaya's wrong. I don't believe that Brian's guilty in any, I don't even think that he's guilty as in, for a while I said, okay, that'll be okay. It would make sense. But, him and somebody else or others did it. No, I don't even see that now. It's zero. Brian is not there in my opinion. So.
Yeah. And I'm in no way, and I know you're not either. Like, we love Lana. We're not.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
We're
not.
No. She's spoke to the man herself. She's got the book. She knows everything. Like, I get it. You and I are only explaining like our own thinking and how we're trying to.
Yeah. What I meant by what I just said, let me clarify that. The contradiction, it was because of the situation we were talking about. It was a contradiction in terms, folks. Not that she contradicted herself, but the way that it was explained, it had to be contradicted that way. That's all. So,
well, you and I think, are on the same page because I understand saying they had bad evidence from lying, from manipulating things, from making horrible mistakes, like whether intentional or intentional or unintentional, intentional, that they're saying, it's him. I understand that part of it, but I'm still, my own personal thought is they got nothing. And
exactly, nothing.
You can't make the statement they have the right person if you don't have one piece of evidence to show it's the right person. And that's what I'm standing on.
Exactly. I'm right there with you, 100%.
Okay. So that's it. I didn't, get to explain that last night.
No, you're right. 100% correct. Because guys, look back. There's like I said this. I went on for 40 minutes last night saying the same thing in different ways. They have absolutely nothing that proves that Brian Koberger did anything. I even said at one point 2 years ago, I was trying to force myself to see something to go along with some of what the guilters were saying. There's nothing I can even make it look like that he was there with. And now the only thing that was remotely there, like Elena said last night too, that DNA. I don't even trust that anymore. I don't think that's his DNA. I've been there for that for about 6 months now. I'm just there. So that tells me they have absolutely nothing. So
yeah.
It just makes no sense.
Yep. Okay. So that was that. And then today, we've all been listening to Pete's interview, both of them over and over again. And I don't know if you saw the part of my show yesterday. So I think you and I are on the same page thinking that there has to be at least one other interview in between those two, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right. So yesterday I pulled up the ISP documents because you can search, right? You can search in those.
Yeah.
And I typed in Joe Lake. His name's in there once. Through the search.
That's for one time?
Yep. And all it was a page explaining his role.
Oh, okay.
So That was interesting. Now, I do believe, I think, I don't know where I read it. Maybe it was on a community post of Lana, somebody somewhere. I believe it was said that he's known to not write reports after an interview.
That I have heard in the past. Truly and honestly. Not that any of them do, but yeah, that's a good point.
So there's that. So I tried to look for it. I did like a brief, looky-loo. So
Yeah.
I wanted to start with, talking about Ethan and Xana, their timeline, because I feel like that's what we were all focused on when it comes to Pete, right? Pete's Ethan's best friend. He should have been able to tell us a lot of information. What are your thoughts about just Ethan and Xana, like in relation to the whole case?
There's definitely something strange surrounding these two. Definitely Ethan for sure. I did an entire show based on what was going on with Ethan that night because there's something I immediately saw things that made me question this. Okay, and I didn't in the beginning until certain things were released, and now there's a lot surrounding them, and the more we get, I think Pete kind of really put some icing on the cake on that as well, because there's a lot of strange things. Okay, we had with Ethan and Xana, we had Kennedy Fitzgerald's interview threw a huge wrench in the mix of all of this. Okay, also changes up some things for Ethan and Xana to me. Pete's interview, different things like that have added into this that has me wondering what was going on with those two that night. There's all the text messages, the missed phone calls, the missed FaceTimes, whatever you want to call it. There's something that was going on around them that is highly uncomfortable to me. So at this point, I that's why I think you and I specifically, I'll say for a fact, because I know we have been looking at them so hard lately. Their timeline has been hidden from us from the beginning. We know that. I want to know why. Why was their specific timeline, those two themselves, hidden from us? Why has it been buried per se? And why do we have all these questions about just those two? So
yeah, that's why I called it the mystery on my thumbnail. It's like those two, Ethan and Xana, seem to be the big mystery, in my opinion, of this whole case. And so that's making me think if there's a motive out there that we don't know about, like it looks like the motive would be related possibly to the two people that no one wants to share any information about. It's very curious that we know exactly where Kaylee and Maddie were pretty much the whole night.
Pretty much.
We have video of them. We've got video of them at the bar. We've got video of them at the grub truck. The only thing is with Maddie, that mystery ride she took that morning. So there could possibly be something that connects all four of them. But when it comes to this investigation and Ethan and Xana are the ones that no one wants to talk about. No one wants to talk about them. We don't even know where they were the whole night, let alone what time they got home. So that's just making me think they have to be the key. And I just think that it's whatever that reason is probably going to tell us why the crime happened. That's what I think. Yeah.
I can agree.
Yeah. So
most definitely.
I have these timelines written out. I have to because I forget things.
No, I believe me, I understand. That's why I have notebooks and sticky tabs, sorts of things all over the place. I need sticky tabs for my forehead sometimes, I think.
So I have to look at that to keep going back to it. But what I've changed my mind about when they go over to Sigma Chi, I am now thinking that because we know that the explorer leaves the Hungadunga, goes to the girls' sorority, drops them off, and then goes to Sigma Chi. So apparently from the explorer log, they are putting the explorer at Sigma Chi at 9:24 p.m. Okay. Yes. I now think that Ethan got out of the Explorer and went into Sigma Chi with his dress clothes on and met Xana there when her and Bethany walked over. And she brought a backpack full of clothes for him, their beers, their whatever, because we heard Pete say they had to go grab all their belongings. So that's what made me think that.
Well, that's actually a good thought. I never thought of that. Only because the text message from him to her saying, I'm going to change at your house. But
yes, he did say that.
But here's the thing, though. There could be something in between there that we don't have where he called her or messaged her again and said, hey, just bring me some clothes and we can just go straight to there. The problem, though, is that he took the vehicle home, or did he? Okay. And that's why it takes me back. That's a good point. Awesome, Kawanda. That was very nice of you.
Aw, thank you, Kawanda. Look at that. 5 memberships. Welcome in, Green Team. Welcome to the nest. The unique peep coop, we'll call it.
Very cool.
Clock it. So I gotta say thank you. Clock it.
Thank you so much, Kawanda. Let me see who got those real quick. We have Tomboy Charm. You're a mod in here and you still received a membership. All right. Dory 137. Lucky Lady 195. Ooh, here's a long one. Penelope Poppendorfer.
I think it says Penelope Poopendorfer.
Poopendorfer. Hello.
That's cute.
And Daniela 391. Welcome in.
All right. Oh, the awesome new peeps.
Sorry if we're getting feedback. That should not have played.
What
I don't
was
even
that?
know why that's pulled up. Okay. All right.
Oh, what I was going to say, though, is now it makes me wonder, like what you said kind of makes some kind of, remember how I've been kind of stuck on Hunter's jacket being balled up underneath the shelf in the TV in the living room?
Yes. So do you think he drove the Explorer back and went in? I don't know.
That's a very grand possibility. Why? I don't know. But there you go. That makes me wonder. What was he doing? You know, he doesn't have a phone, so we don't know. At least that's what we've been told. So we don't know anything about that. But I'm still stuck on that jacket. How and why was that there? If he wasn't dropped off at Sigma Chi, maybe they dropped Ethan and he drove the vehicle back and then walked back over. Did he go in the house? Did something else take place? I don't know, but it's weird.
And that should be a simple fact. Why is that a conundrum? Why is that hidden? Why is that such a big deal? They haven't, from what I'm remembering, I don't think they've even asked anybody to clarify it. You know? So
No, they haven't.
So yeah, so this could be, so we like to look for contradictions on this show. So we might uncover a contradiction when it comes to the who's saying what about when Ethan and Xana got to Sigma Chi. Right. I would like to think Hunter's jacket would have gotten there after the Sigma Chi party, because I don't know. What's he going over there for? Why would he go in the house if he's just dropping the Jeep off?
Unless he was going to pick something up when he was doing it, and we don't know. See, I'm still taking that backwards, Kim, to the Pete's statement about taking Hunter out, or taking Ethan outside, having a couple beers and talking to him. I almost feel like that's, you don't do that unless you're trying to calm somebody down. Let me say that, okay?
Yeah.
And I've been through that. I've been that guy that they've had to take me outside and talk to me, calm me down because I was heated, or I've been that guy doing it with somebody else. So not just to have a conversation. I'm not going to lie to you, okay, is what he said. I took him outside. We had a couple beers and we talked about it. That you understated that statement, in my opinion. Okay, so Did they? And they were only at the Hunka for like slightly less than an hour, I think it was. Like, I gotta wonder, did they leave because Ethan was pissed? Maisie's crying, dropped her off.
Yeah.
Did Hunter go to Xana for some reason and say, just take the truck back? I'm gotta go in here right now, or something like that. Did it work out that way, or did Hunter actually, or did I keep screwing up their names? I'm sorry. Did Ethan actually go back to the house and then come back? This is where I get like confused in my mind now, based on Pete's statements. So
Yeah, and it shouldn't be that way. They
no,
didn't ask enough questions about that outside conversation between
no,
Pete. Now, I don't think Maisie would be crying over over Ethan and Pete
shouldn't
having
be
a disagreement or an argument. I do think Maisie would be crying if Hunter and Ethan were fighting.
right. Yes, ma'am. And don't
And
forget, let me throw in the back of that real quick. The you good bro to Pete. So that Xana
yeah.
sent him. That's also
And
something that's in the back of my mind. Sorry.
yeah, maybe Pete and Hunter are like on the same page or of something. You know, triangulation happens, and it seemed like there was the three guys
Yes.
with these two girls, which was weird. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. Let me see this question right here. When did Hunter Chapin's phone break? I've heard everybody say that. I haven't seen it in a report yet.
I heard it was the Friday before, but I don't know if that's true or not. That's just how it's been said to me.
And it says he was on his phone in the body cam video Sunday morning, and he called his mom to tell her about Ethan. I heard, now put this out there as a Kim hearing a rumor
Yeah.
out on the streets. I've heard people discuss that sometime after they discovered them dead and him getting interviewed, so sometime in between there, the phone broke or got damaged, or I don't know. I don't know what the details are, and I don't know where that comes from.
Right. And we don't know, when we watched the body cam video the next morning, we don't know if the phone that he's using is his phone. It could have been his sister's phone or anybody else's phone for all we know. So that's the problem, is we don't have enough details to make proper decisions on things, I guess you could say. That's the biggest problem with this.
Yeah.
There were two phones. Okay.
That
That's
would be
another
interesting.
possibility too. Not too many people have two phones unless you have an alter reason to have that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hello to everybody who's saying hello. I'm so happy to see all of you today. I know I didn't say hello individually, but
Good morning.
I'm so thankful you're all here.
Yes, yes, yes. Quite a few people in here too. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, this is awesome. Okay, so that was the one thing about the Explorer. And then what was the other thing? So we've got Bethany saying she's going over to Sigma Chi with Xana. She says after 9. Dylan says around 9:30. So Ethan getting there around 9:24, and then he's texting Hunter Johnson that he's drinking with Xana and Bethany, come hang. So that's what made me think, oh, he just got out of the car, went straight in. Let me text Hunter.
Yes, you are correct. Can I throw one more thing into what we just said real fast? I just remembered it. I said it last night too, because I think it's kind of important. Hunter Johnson is somebody that was very close to Ethan as well. He considered himself one of Ethan's best friends. And we've heard a whole lot about him from him in relation to Ethan. Now, in my opinion, if Ethan and Pete were as close as they were, based on what Pete has said, did you realize, Kim, that that Pete, in none of his interviews, not one time did he bring up Hunter Johnson at all in relation to Ethan?
That's true.
I mean, to me, that seems a little odd. If this is somebody that you know Ethan is close to as well, okay, something might be off there. That's all I'm saying. There might be a disconnect there for some reason. For all we know, he could have left Hunter out of everything because maybe there was something that happened with Hunter as well. We don't know. I'm just saying.
Usually, I would think it would be typical that at some point your best friends or your friends that you meet at different places are going to you're all going to be together at some point. You're going to
Yes.
introduce them. Like I've had my childhood best friends have to meet my college best friends. They didn't always
Sure.
like each other.
Yeah. Well, Witchy makes a point right there, and I'm wondering if that's what it is, and if it is, why was it redacted? If Hunter J was brought up in all the redacted portions, why? Why is it redacted? Is there something with it? That's my only question there. I can't stop thinking about why we didn't hear anything about Hunter. So I just want to throw that in. I'm sorry that I interrupted you. My apologies.
No. I want us to make all the points and observations that we can. So yeah, just real quick. So they're at Sigma Chi around 9:30, and I say they as Ethan, Xana, and Bethany. We don't get a whole lot of details. To me, it sounded like I thought they were in Hunter's apartment first. Then Dylan's the one that says they moved to, or she sees them in Pete's apartment around 10:30. So I think there's these two apartments they're moving back and forth between.
Yeah.
These are the things I want to try to narrow down, like whose apartments. Bethany's putting Ethan and Xana at the frat at 12:17. And then Pete is now, new piece of information, Pete is now saying that they leave at 1:20. Last time they Ethan and Xana are seen together at Sigma Chi at 1:20.
And did you notice too, Kim? Again, I don't mean to interrupt you again. I just can't. Every time you say something, it triggers other things for me to say. In the first interview with Pete, he said, "I don't know if they went with me to aggro or not." Then the second interview, he says, "Well, I went to aggro about 1:20-25. I thought they went home." Completely two different things. So I think that's a little weird too to point out that first he says he doesn't know if they went with him over to what the hell is it called? He calls it aggro, but you know what I mean.
What were they? The Alpha Gamma Rho.
There you go. Thank you. Alpha Gamma Rho.
Oh my gosh. Finish. Go ahead.
But like he says, the first interview, I don't remember if they went with me or not. The second interview, he goes, "Yeah, I last saw them at 1:20 or 1:25. I went to AGR, and I'm pretty sure they went home." Two different stories, in my opinion, that are just the detective should have said, "Wait a minute." They should have had notes to refer to instead. Hold on. But you said this the first time. Now you're saying this. Is there a reason why you changed your story? They didn't do that. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes. When you said AGs, I pulled up because what I'm working on now and what I wanted to start today was going back to Bethany and Dylan. What are all the statements they made? I only want to pay attention to Ethan and Xana from 9:30 till, the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Anything about Sigma Chi, anything about who was there, so we can start to like really paint this picture better.
Yes.
When I was doing that, I came across, I thought she said something about AGs. And when you said that, I was like, oh my God, where did I see this at?
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Let me see. Maybe I should just pull this up and read her information because I was like, oh, there it is. Oh, Fiji's. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Gotcha. No. But all right, we're going to look at this. If I share my screen. Whoops. I always do that. I always turn my camera off.
Oh, I used to do that too because the two things at the bottom look so much the same.
Now, I know you're familiar with this because over it on your show. So this is when they searched Dylan's room. And we know, I'm just picking this out because it was interesting that Dylan had a letter. So we're going to kind of sidetrack for a second. We're
All right.
going down the Ethan and Xana path, but this was interesting and I wanted to bring this out. In Dylan's room, there was a letter from Emily, and it was in a clear plastic shoebox within the bedroom closet. Okay, could be nothing, could be nothing. Then we've got the journal and the diary. We know that. Now this, I looked this up. There was a sorority accountability voting letter located in a black backpack, which was under the bed. Did you talk about that at all?
No,
Do you
I don't
remember
even
that?
think I knew that. So I'm learning.
So as soon as I saw this, a sorority accountability voting, I was like, someone's in trouble. Someone was in trouble. Like they're voting about somebody. That was my hunch. So I
Okay.
just Googled it real quick. Just, a quick Google.
Yes.
And this is what it said. In a sorority. So I said, what is accountability voting in a sorority? In a sorority, accountability voting refers to the process of holding members responsible for upholding the chapter's bylaws, academic requirements, and standards of conduct. This type of vote, usually conducted by a standards board or discipline committee, determines if a member faces penalties for violating organizational policies.
So Dylan was in trouble or something.
Oh, see, this is why I love to talk to you about this, because I was thinking Dylan was voting on someone else being in trouble.
Well, I mean, it
But
could be
maybe you're
both ways. Yeah, it could be both ways.
No, you see, I don't look at things the way people look at them. No, as soon as you said that, I'm
Okay.
like, oh my God, yes.
So what could Dylan have violated? I wonder. And let's think real fast. Who all was in the same sorority as her?
Everybody in the house except Kaylee. So Maddie, Xana, Bethany, and Emily, and Josie. Everybody.
Okay, so they were all in that sorority. That's an interesting point too, except for Kaylee.
Yeah.
So what could she have? What policy could she have violated? I wonder.
Were her grades in not good standing? I mean, I know that's just a wild guess because she was like,
That's a good
she had
thought.
a late assignment. She's like, oh, it was due Friday. I was hurrying up to put it in. So, I mean, it could be grades. It could be unbecoming behavior. It could be not paying your due. I don't know. Whatever their laws are.
Did they go into detail about what the letter said word for word, or did they just say what it was?
No, it
No,
was just
okay.
a voting, accountability voting. So yeah, I guess it could be, well, maybe I think your way of thinking would have to be right, because if Dylan was filling out a ballot, which would be weird if they're doing it paper pencil, but maybe they did, she would turn that in. If she was voting on someone else, she would have turned it in and not had it anymore.
That's what my thought was.
If
But
it was about her, she might get the results.
it could be, and that's why I was asking if it had details as to what the letter actually said, because then we could kind of read through what that was. But that's
Nope,
a
I'll
good
put it back
point.
up here again. Oh wait,
Yeah,
no, that's not.
if she was being voted on, I won't imagine she would have the letter. That's the thing. So that's my opinion. But if
But
she's
what if
voting
that's the
on
letter
somebody,
from What if that's the letter from Emily, because Emily's her big?
it could be. That's what I was. That's what I was thinking next. Yeah, that could be. That makes sense. I was trying to figure out how Emily would fit that. So yeah, good point. Very good point.
Sweet Pea thinks the letter is telling her that she's in trouble. Yeah, maybe. I mean, we're just totally speculating here, you guys. All we know is that she's
Sure.
got a letter from Emily and she saved it. It's in a safekeeping spot. And she's got this accountability voting form. Like, that's all we know. So speculate away. Maybe Emily could have been warning her. Emily could have been offering support. Emily could have been like
Yeah.
reprimanding her. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yes. Right.
I
If
did
they have a
not.
vote, which Dylan gets to go to, multiple Dylans go to vote, see who gets to vote. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was reading
This
something.
one?
Dylan
Was it that one or
does
where
not
was
look
it?
like she's an angel by far. You guys are nice. By far. The you guys are nice is a hint because I guess she expected him to mean because she's guilty. I got what you're saying. Um,
Yeah. I just didn't see which one you were talking about.
Wait, what? When and where does it say Brian was in Montana? Where did that come from? Did you didn't say anything about Montana, did you, Kim? Hey, Moto.
No, sorry, I'm having a hard time following the chat.
Oh,
Hi, Moto.
I just saw a tomboy statement. I was like, wait, what? You lost me for a minute. My guess, Panda said my guess is Dylan was gathering letters of support to defend her against whatever. That could make some sense.
Ooh, good one.
That is a good one. Good job, Panda. Good job. It was a good thought too, because I'd have never thought of that.
I wonder, can you just be kicked out of a sorority just because everyone just all of a sudden doesn't like you, or they don't? I mean, if they don't like you, I'm sure they would drum up some legitimate reason to get.
Yeah, they have to have a reason, and they all got to vote on it and stuff like that, I think. And I'm sure that she could go to the board or whoever they're called and fight that if there was a problem. But then at that point, if nobody likes you, you don't want to be there anyway. So
Right. Why continue to fight it? This is one of those things where there have been several rumors in this case,
right,
and they all have a nugget. A lot of them, not all, a lot of them maybe have not been 100% correct,
right,
but they've got this nugget, like the whole thing with Pete asking about Kaylee's tongue. Not true what the way he asked it, but there was a nugget, like someone, in my opinion, caught wind of something from the autopsy report years ago.
Yeah.
And rumor mill, and it gets exaggerated and it gets out into the public. And here we come to find out that there was severe damage to her tongue.
Yeah, she had her they said that the retainer had been displaced into her tongue, folks. So yeah, it was bad, and she had bad problems with the tongue, but it wasn't cut out. That was horrible.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So
yeah, I
maybe
got
this rumor about Dylan, maybe there were some issues there, and I don't know what importance that is on the case, but it was
right. Hang on one second, Kim. I'll be right back.
Sure. Another thing we don't know like a whole lot about. All right, let me put this back up here. So this is the grand jury. Let me get back over to it. So I was going through the grand jury released transcripts that we got. So I stumbled upon that and I thought that was very interesting. So I'm going to go back to talking about Dylan's information, and I'm looking for what can we find out about Xana and Ethan. So I kind of went through here. I went through already and just kind of skimmed through it and picked out some statements. So she is saying that she's pretty sure Ethan came over to 1122 at that 8 o'clock time period when they all woke up. Now, when I go back to look at the official timeline, according to the official timeline, the Explorer left the house at 7:19. So is she off with her 1 hour? You know how her phone was like an hour off. Does she really mean 7? Did Ethan come over around 7? Because we don't know where Ethan is from 3:48 until 7:19. So over 4 hours of time, we don't know where Ethan is. So possibly we have, according to Dylan, She's saying that Ethan went to the house, pretty sure, before the explorer leaves. So I'm going to say 7 p.m. And now I'm going to look for contradictions to that, but I'm just trying to find everything that these students have said about Ethan and Xana. Then she says, I guess I shouldn't say that. I don't know for sure when they left. Oh, now she's talking about Bethany and Xana leaving. I was probably still intoxicated. I would say I think it's around 9:30, 10-ish. So she's saying Bethany and Xana left to go to Sigma Chi around 9:30, 10-ish, and 9:30 is the time frame that I have. So that's being verified. Bethany said after 9, but close enough. All right, she says it again, around 9:30. She leaves at 10:30. We're getting to Sigma Chi. We're getting to Sigma Chi. Right here. All right, so I'm leaving that on the screen for a second. Let me see what you guys are saying. New peeps alert. What did I miss? What did I miss? Another one, Kawanda. Oh, thank you so much. Another 5 memberships. Thank you, Kawanda. You're so generous. We love you. Love you, girl. Let's see who got those. We've got... Wait a minute. I got to get down here. Panda hug to you. Welcome, welcome. Beach babe. All right. And Michelle Davis, Grayson's mama, and Stone Enchantress. Welcome to the green team, you guys. Please thank Kawanda for all that.
I appreciate you. Thank you, 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 thank you for the support. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Let me just got a little bit of time. I'm going to drop the link. I did see if Moto's still around or Sweet Pea. If anybody wants to come up, I feel like we were having a good discussion about all this stuff. Anybody wants to come up and talk? Okay, so Dylan is at the Sigma Chi. I go through their blank because it's blank. Okay, why this is so stupid. She's going now. I went down on Street View on Sigma Chi, and when you're coming from 1122, that's like, to me, that's like the back entrance. I think she's saying she had to go around to the other side and come in through the front. And she said because they closed their gates at a certain time. All right, so she gets in. And she's asking them what apartment Xana and Bethany are in. She called them. She says, what apartment are you at? Because they were at apartments beforehand and they go from before. So I go down there. Ethan's there. So at 10:30 is when Dylan's about arriving. His triplet brother, Hunter, Mason. Who's Mason, you guys? Mason is a freshman. So Mason the freshman. Let's see. We really don't know whose apartment. But at this apartment, it is Xana, Bethany, Ethan, Dylan, Hunter, and some kid named Mason, and he's a freshman. And there's some other girls there. There's also girls, but we don't want to name them. And they're all sorority girls. So I'm painting this picture for you guys. They're all sorority and frat people. Also, Yessie is there. If this is a 2-man apartment, this is a lot of people crammed into this 2-man apartment. Yessie, Gideon, Claire. We're all in that apartment. All right. Stopping there for a second. We got people coming up on panel. Are you there, Dago? Hi, Moto.
How are you, Kim?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Just kind of in between hours right now.
Oh, okay. Thanks for joining us. Sweet Pea, are you there?
I am here. What's up?
You guys have any
Good morning.
so far about this Xana Ethan mystery?
This is insane. I'm just here for the ride right now because I just keep going back and forth on, everything just seems so separate. Like with the girls, every time I try to come up with something with Ethan and Xana, I'm like, well, how do the other 2 girls fall into this? Because that doesn't make sense.
Yep. The reason why I keep talking about this is, like I said, there's contradictions. Where are Ethan and Xana? Why can't it just be clear? Like, they're here at this location. Here's what we're doing. And that's it.
They obviously did a phone extraction, and because we see different texts or something that they're texting each other. So you mean to tell me that they're not doing anything? Well, they said that Xana was on TikTok finally at when I guess the DoorDash happened or something. So
Trying to replace me. Huh?
obviously we don't know that was really her, but that is something that we heard, because I'm like, what were they doing on their phone? Obviously they were on their phones for that time.
Trying to replace me. I see. I'm gone for 5 minutes, and that's it. I'm out.
I brought reinforcements,
I'm just kidding. What's up, Moto and Miss Sweet Pea? Welcome back.
Oh, and of course I can't hear Dago.
I'm sorry. My septic pump stopped and everything started to backflow. So that's why. Sorry. I got it. We're good.
We've had so much rain, you guys.
I know. That's where it came from too, because it overflowed and then the pump got overloaded and I'm like, no, we're not doing this whole thing again. So that's why I've been gone so long. My apologies.
We had a whole bunch of mini tornadoes last night going through.
We had those the other night.
Super rare here.
Wow.
You had tornadoes, Moto?
Yeah, like mini ones.
Go ahead.
They've been knocking down trees, knocking down signals. It's been crazy.
That's what we had, Kim. Remember a couple days ago?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's what SRB and that's all. We all had those.
Yeah. We have a little tourist strip. It's a strip of entertainment places, bars, restaurants, little amusement parks, putt-putt, things like that, right on the lake. And it's historical. It's been there since like the 50s. And something came off the lake. I don't know. Sometimes I like to call them straight winds. I don't know.
Yeah, or the tail end of a tornado or something like that. Yeah, the joke.
But
Did I tell you?
It knocked the Ferris wheel over.
In Geneva, yeah. It picked it up and threw it at the winery there, which Firehouse Winery is a staple, folks. Everybody loves Firehouse Winery. It was an amazing. Thank God it didn't do much damage to that place. But that
I used to
Ferris
work
wheel. Did you really?
Yeah.
That Ferris wheel has been there for, Jesus, like 100 years, I swear to God.
Yeah.
It's been forever.
Yeah.
Did I tell you did you see what happened in Warren? You know where Warren is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where I'm from. I grew up, born and raised in Warren. Whatever this little mini tornado that Moto was talking about is what actually happened. Picked up a porta potty and threw it through the front window of Franklin Pharmacy.
Ew.
No lie.
Ew.
No
That's
lie.
so disgusting.
Yeah. So the entire pharmacy now has to be completely and totally sanitized because of that. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Anyway, sorry to get off subject, but yeah, that really upset me seeing that because I loved Firehouse. I don't drink anymore, but they still have amazing food, and it's just a nice place to go hang out up at Geneva. And I saw that, and I was like, don't be messing with Geneva. I love Geneva on the lake.
That was my college summer job. I'd come home for the summers, and then that's like a tourist place, right? So
Yeah.
like go to work like early evening, work till like 1 a.m. Then we'd get a couple bottles of wine and go down to the beach and build a bonfire.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those are the days, man.
That's what we always did. We used to go because my band played at the Cove all the time up there. Two of my bands did. That's where we played with Mushroom Head was up there, and we would play at the bar. We'd get a little tipsy, of course, and then we'd go hang out at the beach after the fact. And like you said, build a little fire, so on and so forth. It was a great time up there when I was younger. I loved it. Loved it.
Yep.
It's still a good time. We go up there every summer. So
It's so funny. When Dago and I shared these stories, because I think we're around the same age about, you're probably a little younger than me, but I'm like, I swear we were in the same places at the same time.
we probably I'll be 52 in November. So
Yeah.
and you don't need to disclose your age, but we
Funny.
live within literally like 20 minutes, half hour of each other. So it's like very plausible that we've done a lot of the same things at the same time. So
Yeah.
what is
Funny.
that place real quick? That place in Geneva, the donut place, Kim?
Madson's.
Oh my God. Oh my God, they're hot
Yeah.
donuts. But they make them and give them to you as they're making them, and you get a little thing of milk if you want it, and you sit at the picnic table out back. They're so damn amazing, I'm telling you.
Yeah. A lot of the
Madsen.
places there are like, they've been the same since the 1950s. So a lot of
Yeah,
it's very old school. Not all of it, but some of it.
that burger place still looks like it's like an old 50s diner. Remember that place? I can't think of the
Eddie's.
name of it. Who?
Eddie's Grill.
Eddie's, that's it. Yes. I like that place too.
It's world
Sorry.
famous, you guys. Come to Geneva on the Lake.
You got to. It's really cool. There's a lot to do up there. Just don't come on like Memorial Day or Labor Day because you won't be able to move.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very,
Anyway, sorry.
very busy. All right, you guys, back to Xana and Ethan. So, what did you guys think about? Any thoughts about Dylan and that voting ballot? No.
about
Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I don't know anything about the voting ballot.
Oh, I was going through I was searching through the grand jury transcript looking for Ethan and Xana stuff, and it had mentioned that they did a search of Dylan's room, and in her room they found a voting accountability ballot. So I looked it up, and that's when the sororities have a vote because somebody didn't follow their rules and guidelines.
Right.
Well, you've seen what I put. Well, I thought that it was maybe like, but you said it was a ballot specifically, right? Is that right?
Accountability.
Or was it a letter?
No, Emily's was the letter.
Okay.
This was accountability. Oh, I put accountability voting. Let me see the way it was worded again.
Yeah. If you could check, that would be awesome because I can't remember exactly how that was worded.
So
Maybe it
Dylan-
was somebody. Go ahead, Moto.
Dylan and Curly or Maddie. Well, were they in the same sorority of some sort?
The only one that wasn't in that sorority, like Kim said, was Kaylee. They were all in the same sorority.
Okay, can you guys? I made it really big. So it says Can you see it? Did I share it?
No, you didn't share it yet.
No.
There
It
it
says
is.
a sorority accountability voting letter.
See, girl.
It's the results.
Yes, and that's why I thought that in my head, I'm like, oh, this is a letter telling her that they voted on something.
Oh
Here's
my
the
God.
results.
So what did
Okay.
she do?
I have no idea.
Maybe acting crazy. I
wow.
don't
And
know.
that's exactly acting crazy. And this also could be a motive, here that she's, this could be an anger thing. And then there's also, um,
Good call.
yeah, I don't know. Wow.
That's a
I
good
was
call.
thinking it was a voting ballot. Thank you for making me go back and look at it.
No, I wanted to make sure I remembered correctly, and that's why I
That's
came to that conclusion. But I mean, it
that's
doesn't. I mean, at
that's why
least,
we do these things, you guys. We all work together
yeah,
through these things and come to these. It makes it a hell of a lot easier. So
So imagine she gets this letter from the sorority. They obviously had a vote.
right.
And
right.
she also has a letter from Emily, who is her big. Is it a like consolation, like she's consoling her type of letter? Is it? I don't
Is it a
know.
support letter? Somebody to give her like somebody in the chat said it. It was um speaking in a positive way for her or something.
Oh, on
That
her
I,
behalf.
Maybe it
I
was
can't.
the how do you say it? Forgetting all my words today. The consequence letter.
Yeah, like basically, I can't be your big anymore. Here's your official letter.
Well, no, like this is the consequence from the
This is what happens because of what you
exactly
did.
after the vote.
That's an interesting point too. What if it was? Yeah. But
You
it
know,
but it's from Emily though, right?
sorry, Dago, say that again.
It's from Emily though, isn't it? Or
There's
involved?
two. There's two
Oh,
letters.
oh, okay,
Right.
got
There's
you.
two letters. They don't say who wrote the accountability letter. And then there's one from Emily, like something from Emily. But now I'm
But that
curious.
was separate too, and that was
It
because the
was
one was in the book bag, and the other one was like in the closet, right?
Mm-hmm.
in a
So they
play.
may not have anything to do with each other.
True.
Well,
True.
maybe one was the warning or the notification that there was going to be a vote, and the other one was
Mhm.
the what the finality of it was, like Moto said.
That's true.
I don't, do we know who was on the council at what were they in? Pi Beta Phi? They were Pi Beta Phis. Do we know who was the president, the vice president, the treasurer, all that stuff?
I do not.
No, but I'm sure we could figure that out.
You're
I'm
my
wondering
go-to on this university stuff, Kim. So
if it's not always easy to find.
I know that's why I rely on you, girl.
Sometimes you can find like they'll usually post pictures of their council like on Instagram or something. That's how I found the fraternity ones. But I'm just wondering, what if Emily was on the council? Like, what if she's the treasurer, like not treasurer, the secretary, and she's got to send out the letter?
Oh man.
We're just talking crazy over here.
Was
Yeah.
Emily in? Did Emily hold any kind of office in the sorority that anybody remembers or knows?
Anybody know that in the chat?
And I mean, like yesterday we talked about Pete, so on and so forth. I believe Pete was the treasurer, that type of thing. You know what I mean?
Right. I'll look for it later. I will
I
look
wonder if
for it
there's a way
later.
we could get a date on that letter,
That would be a good point. Yeah.
because I mean, if Dylan got it just before that weekend, then if it is something that's maybe, I don't know.
Well,
how-
somebody said who gets the vote. One can. I think everybody in the sorority has to vote on it.
Yeah, everybody has to be there to vote. I do know that.
Kawanda's in here. I thought I saw, and she was in a sorority. She might know.
Ooh, yes. It would be good to hear her. Now, see, is this showing? Am I sharing this?
Yes.
Okay. So they're talking about Dylan. They're talking about evidence they collected in their report. And so here's in her room. So in her room, we get a photo of the wall hangings. They were focused on the wall hangings. So
Mhm.
they're taking pictures of that, but we don't get a picture of the letter. No,
That's the good
picture of the
point.
letter.
Kawanda, do you know how all this works with this type of stuff? What was it called again? A letter of accountability, or a vote? A letter on a vote of accountability. There we go.
Voting accountability. Wait, let me see. I changed the page again. Voting
Okay.
accountability letter.
Voting
Wait.
accountability letter. Yeah. Do you have any like ideas on that, Kawanda, or can describe a little bit more in depth for us why it would happen and who would vote on it and stuff like that? Sorry to throw that at you.
No, if you want to talk about it, Kawanda, or explain it to us, non-Greek life up here, you can click the link. All right, now I can't find it. Where was it? Oh, it was after. But that's okay. All right, we've beat that into the ground probably.
Well, it's kind of I think it's important though, like to understand because it could possibly play into something that may have happened,
her
that could
frame
cause.
of mind. Yeah, her
Yeah,
frame of
yeah.
mind. And I also was thinking that she was also taking a psych class, so maybe she's like diagnosing herself or something. She's like, I was like, man, I bet she sees a lot. I mean, even because me, I have my
Interesting.
master's degree in social work, and so as you're doing that kind of stuff,
I was gonna
notice
say,
you kind of diagnose yourself too. And so I'm wondering if she was first exposed to, kind of what she's dealing with.
when my wife got her 2 degrees, she got 2 degrees in psychology. She was constantly diagnosing me
I
and
know
her and
that's what I do. I have my DSM out.
right. Yeah, so I bet that's a good point. What are the 3 things on her bed that were blacked out paper wise or book wise? That's a good question, Mike. Good question.
Oh, Kawanda, I don't know what happened. Oh, wait, there you are. Are you up here?
Yeah, she's on the bottom. I see her.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Hi,
Yeah,
Kawanda.
I'm here. Can y'all
Can you hear us?
me?
Yeah.
Welcome, dear.
Hello.
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 Have you heard of that before? Do you know about that?
Sorry, can you restate the question? I wasn't paying attention, then I heard my name.
Yes. Let me show you. Let me find it. Okay, it's right here. I got to get it back up. So on Dylan's list of evidence that was taken from her room, it says there was a sorority accountability voting letter.
Okay, that's it.
That sound familiar?
Yeah, was there any additional context?
No, it just said it was found in her backpack.
What
under
would
the bed.
Sorry, Kim.
That's
Okay,
it.
well, without any additional context from my knowledge, the internal accountability letter is basically refers to your standing within the sorority. So, like, are you in good standing, bad standing, blah, blah, blah. So, like, it could be in reference to an event happening, like something happening, and then you get a letter saying, like, because of this, you're no longer in good standing, and this is what you have to do A, B, and C to get back in good standing. So that could be one scenario. Or
Well,
maybe it's something that all the members get at the end of the semester to tell them if they're in good or bad standing. So it could be either of those.
that makes sense, Kwanda. Thank you because somebody just sent
I
me a
can't hear
message.
Dago.
Why do we keep having this problem?
I know it happens sometimes.
Somebody
can't
just
hear
sent me a.
either.
I'm gonna leave and come back because I can't hear Dago.
What?
Me either.
Can you hear me, Moto?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh,
Okay. Are you on your phone or a computer?
I'm on my phone.
I don't understand it. Well, that's interesting what she just said, Kim, because somebody sent me a message that stated that Lana had mentioned at one point that I guess Dylan was getting voted out.
Okay. I know people had been saying that. I didn't know where it came from. So if she says it, that's, I believe that.
Wow. Think about a moto, Kim.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's like maybe a trigger.
And they're all in the same sorority too. So except for Kaylee, I gotta wonder.
So she's getting kicked out of possibly, or
Right,
she gets
possibly, allegedly.
letter. She's going to their formal on Friday and bringing Kaylee, who has nothing to do with that sorority. And I've always said, like, why? And then they didn't even go to the formal. They just went into the house. So my crazy mind is like, Kaylee's a sleuth. Kaylee's like kind of anti sorority now. Dylan might be like upset about her. I don't know. Either I think Kaylee wanted to get into that house, or someone in that house wanted Kaylee in to get into that house.
Kim, I got you. But check this out. She brings Kaylee in defense because she knows Kaylee has had to fight a battle with the sorority before over the COVID thing. So Dylan says, look at this letter. This is the letter I got from my seniority. Can you come with me and help me try to deal with or sort this bullshit out?
That's
Yeah.
an
And
interesting point.
then they say, get Kaylee out of here. Or they
Yeah.
probably said some things to Kaylee that didn't really make her feel comfortable to stick around.
For one, she's from a separate sorority, and two, she's not any longer in the Greek life. So yeah, Kim, can you drop the link again for them? They said.
Oh, sorry. That makes so
Okay.
much sense. That
It
makes so
does.
much sense. It would explain why they didn't spend a lot of time there, because they really did not. I mean, it was like 20 minutes. So maybe it just went bad fast.
That's a very good point, you guys. Truly and honestly, and that could explain completely why they said piss on this, and off they went back to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that makes it. I mean, we'd have to find out the facts if there is any facts attached to it. But I mean, that would make complete sense.
Yes, and the biggest thing is I want to know why, if that's true. If it isn't, of course we need to find that out too. But if it's true, why? Why was that going to happen? That's kind of important, I think.
Yeah, what was the outcome from that letter?
Yeah, and like what promoted that? What caused that to happen?
Because that would turn a whole sorority against probably everybody in that house.
It could, yes. And Kawanda, if I can you hear us, Kawanda?
Yes.
So let me ask you this question real quick. What would provoke them to have a vote to vote somebody out? Okay. What would make that happen? What things would you have to do to get voted out of a sorority?
Okay, so every chapter is different. Just want to preface that.
Yeah.
There could be different scenarios, but the thing that comes to my mind. So first of all, if it gets to a point where there's a vote on you, that is like really bad. That's really, really bad because it's something that's basically like you've been warned at least once, probably multiple times. You've been, given a letter of accountability or something similar to that, saying what you need to do to like rectify the situation. And so voting someone out is like really like a last resort thing, because at the end of the day it's supposed to be a sisterhood, right? So for you to get voted out, like that's really bad. And every chapter has bylaws, which is basically like their constitution of like
Yeah.
how things run, and like for these situations. So it's going to be different, but like if it gets to a point where you're being voted on, that's really, really, really bad.
That's what I'm guessing to get to that point. And like you obviously get multiple warnings and things like that before that happens. Is that correct?
Yeah, generally.
Which
Because
could
it
be the
takes
letter from Emily.
because like well, that
Yeah.
would make sense too if Emily's Dylan's big, so that would
Yeah.
definitely make sense. But like, cause you got to think about it, for you to get to the point where your sisters are voting you out, like after everything, after all the money you've paid, after like going through, hey, get down. Sorry, I'm talking to my cat.
I
Um,
was going to say, what am I doing?
sorry. After all the money you paid, after going through, rush and like all of that, like that's not just like, oh, get out, like that's pretty
Right.
extreme.
Yeah.
Didn't Emily quit the sorority too?
Well, there's
Yeah.
a difference between you quitting yourself and you
Right.
being voted, you being expelled. Those are two completely different things.
Right.
I don't know. I could be wrong. I got to go back and listen again. I don't know if they ever use the word quit. I always feel like they say left or
Left.
Or left.
aren't
Yeah.
part of it anymore. Like, and
It
yeah,
also said debris, so
the narrative is, oh, they didn't want to pay for it anymore. Like that's the
yeah,
narrative.
yeah.
But is that really why? Is that
They
really
could be
why?
downplaying. They could be downplaying the situation that happened
Yes.
1,000%.
But
I think
here's the problem with it all. If it is stemmed by Dylan being kicked out, why would Dylan be the one left alive?
Well, that's the thing. We don't know the context around the letter.
That's
Like
that.
that's what
Yeah.
I was saying. Like we don't know if it was for Dylan. We don't know because again, every chapter is like does it differently. So we don't know if it was just a standard thing that everyone gets at the end of the semester. We don't know if it was specifically for Dylan. We don't know if it was related to someone else. Like we need more context around the letter.
I don't think it necessarily has anything to do with the crime. I think it has more to do with their character, their personality, circumstances, what was going on, things like that. We know that sorority was in trouble. Like they were, I think they were the one that was in trouble with the national one.
Mm. And then
Yeah.
also, I'm just assuming that like the letter was for someone like warning them and everything that they're in bad standing. Like for also like sororities, like there's a lot of politicking going on, and there's a lot of favoritism and like hypocrisy. So if like someone gets to the point where they're getting a letter, like not only does it mean that they did something that was I guess really bad, but then do they have friends in the sorority? Because that means like they don't have anyone basically like campaigning from them behind the scenes to like not let it get that far, you
Right.
know? Like they don't in a position of power like someone on the e-board. So that kind of tells you about the dynamics of like if that's what the letter actually is. Like you're not very popular. You're not very popular.
Can you see this? I just wanted you to see the language one more time. It says accountability voting in quotation marks letter. So it does
Yeah.
say voting.
Yeah, so
Like,
that could either be Dylan had to vote about someone else or there's a vote about Dylan. It could be
see,
either of those.
I originally thought it was Dylan voting about someone else, but then wouldn't she have to give that in? Like she'd have to hand that in. She wouldn't have it anymore if she was voting
That
on
was
someone
my thought.
else.
Right.
Yeah, but if it wasn't due yet, it might not be due yet.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Or
they
it
give
could
it to
just
you
be
and then
could just be saying that you have to come and vote on such and such a day
yeah,
at such and such a time.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. We don't have enough of context. That's a very broad statement.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Very
Yeah.
interesting, though.
All right, let me get over to, oh, we're still in the same document. So this is the grand jury transcript. I've got it too big. I can't even see what I'm looking at. Nope, too far down. Oh, there's good old Lake that I couldn't find anything about in the ISP reports. He was at the grand jury. Dago, did you read about him? Oh, he must have stepped away. All right, let me find these parts. So I was trying to track down what Dylan had said about Ethan and Xana because they're the mystery, right? We don't get to know where they're at.
Did you say something to me?
I scrolled down too far and in the grand jury transcripts and I saw that it said Joe Lake. Do you remember reading that when you read through the transcripts?
I do, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, they had him testify at the grand jury?
Yeah, I think it was based on the interviews that he gave with them.
Okay. So I went through, I went through Dylan getting to Sigma Chi and who all she said was there. So she puts them in Pete's apartment with a bunch of different people. So I wrote down all of those names. And then, oh, no, see, this is why I hate these things. Tell me what you guys think. So she says she gets her wristbands. I go through the door. I called Xana and Bethany and I was like, oh, what apartment are you at? Because they were at apartments beforehand and they go from before. So I go down there. Like, what? Ethan's there. His triplet brother, Hunter, Mason, one of the freshmen is there. There's some girls in there I wouldn't know, but like I've seen before. They're all sorority and fraternity people. I'm with Xana and Bethany. Bethany's friend Yessie is there. Gideon, which is my best friend Claire, she has a guy little named Gideon. He was with us too. So where? We got all the information except is this Hunter's apartment? What do you guys think? Because then it says, be just real quick, eventually they go into Peter's room. Do I need context to this?
Yeah.
They're talking about the game. They're talking about the game. And plus you have to remember there's chunks of time missing. So Dylan says, I think it's Sigma Chi. So me and Gideon obviously going back and forth, kind of looking around. Eventually they go into Peter's room, Peter's apartment, which I think is blank. I can't remember his apartment. 5? Well, the other number I heard was 4. So you'd think they'd be right next to each other.
I would assume so.
Does it sound? I'm trying to really narrow.
I know it sounds like it. It's out because they're in the same fraternity, so it makes sense that their rooms would be by each other.
Yeah. So do you guys think Ethan, Xana, and this whole crew were in one apartment at the beginning and then moved over to Pete's apartment?
It's possible. I mean, anything's possible.
And was that before or after the cheating text and after Pete took him outside?
It's
I can
after.
see that.
Did him and Xana go in the other room to talk because Ethan was upset?
This is at after 10:30 at night. At 10:30 at night, Dylan is saying they moved from one apartment over to Pete's apartment. See how I'm just trying to track down all these movements? And it doesn't mean it's 100% fact. This is just what Dylan is saying in one interview.
Which we all have to take with a grain of salt, right?
Right. And I'm trying to see,
Right.
does that statement match up with what other people say? Or is this going to be something that's a mystery? I don't know.
Well, it depends. Is Dylan with Bethany at this point?
She says she is.
But they both have different times where they go to Pete's apartment, no?
That's what I'm trying to
Yeah.
record. I'm trying to record all of this to get it. I need to see it like visually because I keep forgetting. Do you remember what time you think Bethany said that?
No.
Oh, it's after 9. Yeah, you're right. Bethany's putting them in Pete's apartment after 9, and maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter.
Actually, but wait. So remember, Dylan's phone was an hour ahead because she was in Boise. So if you subtract the 1 hour, Dylan and Bethany are saying that they were in Pete's room at the exact same time.
That's true. Dylan did just give us all these names. So, yeah. And then we move on to the alley party mystery, right? And Dylan saying here, I said, do you want to go to Allie's? So it's her idea. So Dylan wants them all to go to Allie's. And I've always said, what do you guys think about this? Do you think Dylan is she the role person throughout this whole thing? Do you see her as a person that like kind of coordinated some certain things revolving around this night?
No, because I think between the two of them, Bethany's the alpha.
You think she's what?
I think between Dylan and Bethany, Bethany's the alpha.
Really?
Yeah.
I always
Oh,
thought the
100%.
opposite, so enlighten me.
Yeah.
No, the only reason I think that is because I think from a popularity standpoint, because I think Dylan's going to follow around who's popular. That's my opinion there. And I think Bethany was probably likely more popular than Dylan was. And I think Bethany's intelligence level is higher than Dylan's. So I think Bethany would be way more. I think she would be the one coming up with the plan. Honestly, that's just my opinion.
What do you guys think? Sweet Pea, you said you thought opposite.
Well, only because of the fact that I can just see her being manipulative and her saying, well, we're going to go here now. What do you guys think about doing that? And, oh, I'm not drinking that much tonight. But now I'm drunk. Like, it just doesn't. She seems like she's the one that's manipulating the story.
That's what
Yeah.
To me.
And
It's possible that Dylan's manipulating the story 100%.
Right. That's what,
But-
yeah.
I think for the events that are happening, I think Dylan's kind of like the third wheel. I mean, Dylan doesn't Bethany stay back to hang out with friends while Dylan and Lakeland go home together?
Yes. Supposedly,
So-
yes.
So that tells me right there that people wanted Bethany to stay to hang out. They really didn't care what Dylan did.
It's a good observation.
And especially if she was not in good standing with the sorority, nobody would really care what she's doing either.
Oh, yeah. Kawanda, any thoughts?
Did someone say about like Bethany being a mastermind or something? Did I hear that?
No.
I don't know. Okay, I guess I misheard because I thought someone said that Bethany could be the.
Well, I mean,
Well,
define
Moto
mastermind.
kind of did.
Did any of
Okay.
you guys ever watch the cartoon show Pinky and the Brain?
Of
Yeah.
course.
Okay, so let me ask you this: which one was the mastermind and which one was the brain? Or sorry, which one was the goofy one and which one was the goofy one and which one was the actual brain?
The opposite.
Pinky was the mastermind.
Pinky
was
was the
always-
mastermind,
she-
and even
she
though
was-
he was Pinky.
She was smart. She was smarter than Brain was. She was always telling Brain, "Why are we doing this, Brain?" And then Brain would just come up with some crazy, weird laser beam that would blow up the world. And Pinky's like, "No, why are we doing this?"
Well, so the reason why I do not think that Bethany is a mastermind of anything in this, and she is just basically like, she got in it somehow, and she's kind of just there because, first of all, everything we know about Bethany thus far, but like I also remember on one of the body cam videos where the police go to the house for a noise complaint. The person who opens the door is Bethany. And he's like, oh, can we talk to someone who lives here? Can we talk to one of the roommates? And she's like, oh, sure, yeah, let me go get them. And she goes back into the house, and then Hunter J comes to the door.
That's,
Yeah, well,
that's
it's
not
smart because
that's not
Bethany-
Bethany.
No,
I
it
didn't
was
think that.
Bethany.
I didn't
No,
know if that was Bethany or not. I didn't
We
think
thought
so.
it was in the beginning, and then we figured out later down the road it's not her. She just looks a whole lot like her. Pretty
Oh,
close.
okay.
Just that way
But
nobody's
Hunter doesn't
confused.
live at the house either. But I think we're talking about two different things. Okay.
Okay.
So I think Moto was and everybody we're talking more of like Dylan's social standing in
Sure.
interacting throughout that night. Like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Moto, but I think you're saying like Dylan would be more of a follower, like she's gonna have to go along with everybody else, like with the events of the night. What I was more talking about is like, and this is just because this is my theory. If I think that drugs are the reason for the motive for the crime, if there's a possibility that Dylan is connected to any of those people or that way, to me, she had certain things. It seemed like she was keeping tabs on people that night. It seemed like if she brought Kaylee back to be
That's
in
what
the
I
house
thought.
that night. Just other things, lots of photos, lots of videos, lots of accounting for time throughout the night, mysterious names being added into her phone, all that kind of stuff. So when I said,
But yeah, you have to think of it this way too. Dylan was also, Bethany was also watching where they were going on her phone with that friend finding app thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Why didn't she use that? Why didn't she use that app the morning of if she couldn't find them when she tried to call them?
Right.
I've
Okay.
always wondered that. Sorry.
Nope. So I'm gonna wrap this up, but before I do,
Sorry,
so
Kim, can I
Peter?
ask one more question?
Yeah, and then I have something to end with too. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. So back to what Dago was saying, why would Bethany leave with the iPad instead of an iPhone?
Tell me more about that. I'm not like sure about that.
So apparently they have movements tracked with Bethany that morning on her iPad,
Right.
right? So why would you bring an iPad with you somewhere rather than a phone?
That is a good question.
Well, let me ask you this. Why would you use an iPad rather than a phone? What would be easier on an iPad more than a phone?
I use my iPad for videos,
Bingo.
like create when I want something
No.
big like a website or a movie or something like that.
How about a map?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
What are you thinking? A map of what?
Friend finder.
Oh, find my friends.
That is interesting.
Well, especially if you wanted to see like a bigger area. Yeah. Yeah.
Because she'd have more than just Xana, Ethan, Maddie, and Kaylee.
That's a good one. That's interesting. That's interesting. I'm thinking a lot of people are asking, where is the iPad?
Yeah.
Like, is that in custody?
I've
Is
seen
she-
nothing on that iPad. Have you?
No, I haven't really looked either.
Like in the contents of what was taken?
So here's the thing. I don't exactly know how Apple products work together. I just know I use Apple products at work, and they're very seamless. So if you use like Google Cloud Apple Cloud, iCloud, whatever it is, it's very easy to see. I don't know how those accounts would work. Would that account work from the iPad if it was on like a Wi-Fi network? She doesn't necessarily need a SIM card for it. So would it be picking up locations from her phone that would have a SIM card and GPS rather than the iPad?
Yeah, it does all that because I have like every Apple product. But like basically you have a profile, so like your login information for your Apple account. And so for when I have I'm on my iPad right now, but when I like say I go to someone's house and I have my phone and my iPad and I log onto their Wi-Fi on my phone, if I turn on my iPad, it will say, "Do you want to log into the same Wi-Fi?" And all I had to do is yes, and it'll hook up to it. Like I literally don't have to go into my settings and connect to the Wi-Fi manually because I already did it on my phone.
So now, if you were just like, say your iPad didn't have a SIM card, like I was saying, you're using that device, would it actually register your device if it's still actually synced with your phone? Would it use your phone's location rather than the location of the iPad itself?
Oh. Well, I think you
So
can locate a device, right? Because you can upload a device.
yeah. So each device has its own location. So
Right.
like
Right.
for me, like if we go to our list of devices for my house, like you can see both of my AirPods, you can see my AirPod Max, my phone, my tablet, like they each have their own location.
Okay, so
Well,
okay,
here's
so
just let me give one more example.
sorry.
Let me give one more example. So I think like I have a watch, the Apple Watch, and when I go take a walk, an outdoor walk, I have an app on my watch and I click start and it tracks my walk and then I end it. Now, I could probably access all of that on all my devices, on my
Yeah.
phone, on my iPad, everything. But
Yeah.
I would think that if anybody's looking at that, that they would be able to tell it came from my watch.
Well,
Correct.
it would be the app. The information would be stored in the app. So I don't know if someone else could necessarily tell
I mean
where
an
the
expert. I mean an expert. Like if they're
oh
forensically looking at how this happened, they're going to know I
oh okay.
wasn't
Oh yeah,
carrying my
probably.
iPad on a 3-mile walk. Like, you know?
Yeah, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
For someone who's like super expert. But yeah, so like all of that information you put on your watch goes into the app and you can then access it on your iPad. But each device has
Yes.
its own locator because like if I go into mine now, like let's say I left my house and I left my iPad, my phone would be with me, but then my iPad location would say my house. So they would be in
Right.
two different locations.
Yeah. So curious that they were using, and they released that to us, right? That's in that's in the documents that tells us Dylan's steps and all that stuff. Do you know, Dago? Are you talking, Dago? We can't hear you.
You're supposed to read my lips. Come on. We talked about this. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, guys.
Don't mess with me, Dago. You know I'll have to come out and go back in again.
Right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What? Ask me the question again, Kim. I'm sorry.
No, I just wondered if you were saying anything.
Actually, I was.
Oh, no, I did ask you a question. Do we have that information about Bethany's iPad with like, was that released in one of the documents?
I
With
can't remember seeing it. I was actually just trying to go look at the documents a few minutes ago. That's what I was doing actually. And
isn't it in that
um
report where it says Dylan's steps and stuff?
I thought so. I can't find it now.
Okay.
That's the problem.
That's for another day.
There was that right, but there was something else that was just brought to my attention too. That something, I guess it was something Lana brought up that I guess, remember when we heard that Dylan had ran into Maddie when she was heading to Sigma Chi around 10:30 that night?
Yeah.
Maddie was headed back this way to go to the club with Kaylee, and she was carrying the White Claws. So
Yeah.
I guess, and I don't know if it's just a theory or if it's, a speculation, which it could be. And when she met up with Maddie, because I believe in the book there was a call to Maddie from Dylan. If I'm not, I might be wrong. I have to go back and look. But it was to get her wristband, Maddie's wristband, to drink because Maddie was leaving, and she didn't need it anymore. And that Dylan was told to leave Sigma Chi because she was only 19 years old.
Oh.
Which is real interesting because they're stickers
Wait,
about
where
that
did
shit.
come from?
That's something that Lana had brought up, I guess.
That Dylan was told to leave Sigma Chi. Yes,
Yeah.
Dylan called Maddie at 9:18 p.m.
There
and it
you
was
go.
a 14-second call.
Hey, girl, can I get your wristband when you leave so I can get in
Right.
there and drink?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then they figured out, what the hell is she doing here? She's 19 years old. We can lose our charter for this, blah, blah, blah. Because, you're not even supposed to be really drinking unless they have special occasions in the fraternities and stuff like that. So, interesting. Interesting is
Yeah,
all I'm going to say.
and remember when Travis T. Logic was saying Bethany's like she puts Maddie first
Yep.
when she talks? Like seems like she had a better connection with Maddie.
Well, wasn't Maddie her big or one of her bigs or something like that, I thought, or maybe not. That was
I
Emily.
don't
I'm sorry.
remember. Yeah, I don't remember. Um I did have one thing I would say. It's kind of like off what we're talking about, but just kind of like random. I think this whole like conversation of like between Bethany and Dylan, like maybe who was more of a manipulator, who was more of a follower. Again, they could have it could be like neither one of these things. But what I thought about if I was trying to okay figure out like let's say one of them was if I was trying to figure out, I would love to see. I know unfortunately we can't know like the details about the Snapchats, but like that evening until that morning, like who's like what are the number of Snapchats each of them were sending? Because if Dylan sent 100 and then Bethany sent like 10, then to me that would be an indicator that Dylan's more involved in what's going on. So
Mm,
that's just like an interesting thought I had.
It is.
it is. And you just triggered me to think, I don't know if it was on your live last night or yesterday during the day, Dago, but sometime recently, something came up about someone from WSU, something with WSU. Oh, when they asked Pete about Jasmine. They asked Pete about Jasmine, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I know her." And then there was some other information around that, and I was in the chat, and I'm like, kind of like freaking out, like because I feel like we need to figure out about this Cougar Den, the Cougar Den chat messaging,
Yeah, yeah,
and I'm just looking for any connection to like back to WSU, like who's connected over there.
right, right.
So
Absolutely. And let's not forget the whole thing with the. I keep having people send me these things. My mods are amazing. The activity sensor data that reports the Dylan total sample count for that 3.00 distance traveled,
yeah,
120.75 flights climbed 2 times. I mean, these are the things, the little things with her and that night, and with Ethan and Xana, and what all went on around all that night that we have to keep remembering and reminding ourselves of. So just
yes.
to add these little details in there. Thank you again.
Yeah, that's why we question it. Okay, so final, we'll go around if you want to. So Pete puts Xana and Ethan at the Sigma Chi house, 120, and then he says he leaves them. So all we know is Xana and Ethan are standing in the middle of the Sigma Chi house. What do
I
you
know.
think? Fill in the rest of the story. What do you think happens?
Oh Lord, Lord.
Where do
I
you
think
think they
that
go?
to myself every morning. No.
Yeah. Do you think they went straight home?
Well, do we believe Kennedy Fitzgerald's interview?
I do.
I
I
do
mean,
too.
I kind of do, and everybody. I was thinking, I kind of did, but
I
it's different from everyone else's.
I
So
do, yeah. And why would she have it? What reason would Kennedy have to tell a lie? There's my question, okay? And
I
it's
don't think she
complete.
cares. I don't think she really cares enough about this whole situation.
That's what I was at with it. And again, it's completely different than Dylan's account saying that she had to call a Sobro to pick them up because um, Lakeland couldn't walk because she was so drunk. And we're talking about 6 girls walking down Taylor Avenue at this point. If you were so drunk, like there's a whole bunch of lies in that mix. That's all I'm saying, you guys. We can't. I don't know that they went straight home. That's my question now. Because if they kept
Yeah,
going
there's no way
straight,
to know.
right? If they kept going straight instead of turning left on that path on Taylor to head directly to the front door, where else would they have gone, and why? And why did Lakeland make that? Or sorry, Kennedy make the statement, if that's what she meant, that I didn't really want to know what they were going to go do. That all goes together as far as I'm concerned, and I'm real curious about that. To be honest with you, that's my statement with
Were they
that.
gonna go get some Adderall?
I think Adderall's
Everybody
code.
else was.
Adderall's code for the real drugs they were doing.
But it's not in their system, so that's why it's weird.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
I mean,
If,
you would think it would be more than that, but like
Yeah.
at
it
least
could
that's
be
what we were
something that
told.
they could have walked. They could have been like, I need to come and buy some Addy,
The
and they walked in on something that they shouldn't have. I don't
the
know.
Do you fully believe the toxicology report? Let me ask you that
I
question
don't
before you
believe
say that.
nothing. I
There's the
don't bel-
problem. We don't know what to believe.
There's all degrees of experimenting in college, right? So
Sure.
some college students are going to be like way more risky trying, and just because you try something doesn't mean you're doing it all the time. So who knows what has, they've tried along the way. Maybe they're regular. I know it's very common for college students to be using that Adderall to like stay alert, to help studying, to do all that stuff. So it's still like illicit because it's not prescribed. So they have to get it from somewhere. And it was said that it would be common for them to smoke pot. And I don't know, in 2022, that fentanyl stuff was rampant, right? It was starting to become high risk with those. And they're smart college kids. I would be like, I'm not touching that stuff because it's going to be laced. Maybe they felt more comfortable with just like pot and Adderall. I don't know. But someone on that campus was doing something with the other stuff.
There was a lot going on that night too with Dylan's information in her phone and stuff. Like I said, I, I don't know, you guys. I don't know what to think about. Dylan's on Instagram and Snapchat sending and receiving messages nonstop between 11:30. Dylan sends a snap to Maddie asking if she's up at 11:23. What? That's weird. Then Dylan's accessing Yik Yak on 11:35. I mean, she's nonstop on her phone all night, never sleeping. What was she doing all damn night? Who was she talking to? Why? All of that.
The Yik Yak is interesting because that's a messaging app with people that are like in that area.
Yep.
So maybe it's a way to not have like a contact saved, but I could find, I don't know how it works. I've never used it, but maybe you can find people.
Right.
Maybe you think it's less traceable. I don't know. I don't know about that.
I agree with you.
But
But
where did Ethan and Xana go? I mean, where did they go?
oh, you were talking about Ethan and Xana. I'm so sorry. I completely misunderstood what you were saying, Kim.
Stay on topic.
No,
I'm still fried from
it's
yesterday.
okay, Jago. I'm here. I'll just redirect you, hon.
Thank you. I need somebody to hold my hand for Christ's sake.
It's okay, Dago. I'm only half paying attention, anyways.
I'm listening, but I'm trying to read things and look at things and listen at the same time. So I misheard. And did they go home? My problem with that is Pete said his second interview said that he left them between 11:20 and 25.
Yep.
He went next door. The first interview, he said he didn't remember if they went with him. The second one, he says, I think they went home. Which one is it? There's the problem.
The problem is the simple fact that I believe they're in that house before 1:30, before Lakeland and Dylan get there.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly think they were no longer with anybody.
I understand.
Right?
And
To me, that makes the most sense out of this whole situation. Because if someone just shut the door and there wasn't anything else going on in the living room, they never would have known.
yeah,
I
said that before too.
The smell wouldn't
sense.
have even started yet. So.
Oh no. Here's my question though with that. So we have two other people that were murdered. Let's say, for instance, Dylan, oh my God, Ethan and Xana had been attacked already. The door was shut. Nobody knew. They're all doing their thing throughout the house, so on and so forth. Nobody went in there. Where were the people that did this to them until Kaylee and Maddie come home? You know what I'm saying? There was at least 3 or 4 people involved, in my opinion. Where were they? And how did it end up?
I got one thing. There's one room where they could have been in and they would have saw people coming in the door. Think about it.
In that extra room
a
downstairs?
spare bedroom. Yeah, that is a good point.
Who are you saying would have been in there?
And whoever attacked them, possibly.
Oh, yeah. How about this? Ever since we're hearing from Kennedy and Pete,
Good call.
it could possibly be all of them. What if all of them, all the roommates, and Ethan and Xana, all got home at like that. It would have to match. We know Kaylee and Maddie got dropped off in a car, so we know that's
156. Yeah.
Most of them could have been walking up to the house at that time, and we're not allowed to hear the from that time. And then the Linda Lane audio at that time, I think, is a lot of yelling.
Yeah.
Names being yelled.
Yeah.
I really think I want to look at that footage now with that. And what if either someone's in the house? What if they are hiding in the house, or they're, I don't know.
Or Chris just said that they forced Kaylee, maybe, they forced Kaylee and Maddie into the house. Maybe they were kind of hiding, waiting around back behind the house or something, forced them in or something. That's another good, interesting thought too. Because we don't know when they first, in fact, isn't there at some point on the Linda Lane, you hear like a scream, sounds kind of a distance away, like somebody scared, maybe they scared somebody when they first got home and like jumped out of the darkness and forced them in the house and scared them. I mean,
I think there is a scream at that time. Yeah.
That's what I mean. So it could be. It could be. That's a good point, Chris. I never thought of it like that. Maybe they caught him on the outside moving it, going inward and said, nah, get in the house, blah, 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 going forward. So that's a good point. That's why they wanted the dog outside. Right.
Did you want to add something, Moto? I saw you.
You know I do. It's just the fact that if they all went in together, they all got attacked at the same time, then Maddie and Dylan wouldn't be with us. Or sorry, Dylan and Bethany wouldn't be with us.
Well, it depends though, because if there's a connection there, and like Dylan said, they knew me, they were trying to protect me, possibly.
I knew you were going to say that.
That's the only thing I can keep going back to, because that statement just sticks like glue. I can't let go of it. You know what I mean? I mean, it does.
The only reason, well, no, but the simple fact is, Xana was in a fraternity. Ethan was in a fraternity. They would have been protected the same way Dylan and Bethany were. If it was,
well,
if you think it's because Dylan and Bethany were protected because they were in a fraternity.
That's not what I think. I think it's something a little bit bigger and more elaborate than that. If there's a protection, it's from another organization, not a fraternity or a sorority.
There has to be something bigger. There has to be something bigger.
But Bethany doesn't have a connection to that.
That's the only one I struggle with, unless Bethany was like, hey, she's with me, leave her alone type thing. That's the only thing that makes any sense to me, dude, truly and honestly. Or she wasn't there at that time. That's still a probability too, that she may have snuck off or stayed somewhere longer and the timeline's off. That's another thing people have said too, that, maybe she wasn't there at that point yet. So I don't know, but there's a couple options there that would make some of that make sense.
Yeah, I mean, you could make it fit, but I'm just.
It's hard. I agree with you.
I'm trying to stick to Occam's razor, but think outside the box at the same time.
That's the hard part. And as I said last night, I don't think this is a fraternity. I think they knew. Okay, I think they had some guilty knowledge on this, but I don't believe it was a fraternity. I just won't. I have a whole different theory. I think you guys kind of get to it at this point.
You have the same one I have. And I've had that from day one. I also think that with Joe Lake telling Pete Pete was saying how upset Bethany was. And then Joe Lake said, yeah, she's really shaken up. We got to get her help. I mean, no one else is like that. No one else is acting like that. I mean, she's terrified. No. She will not set foot back in that state. I mean, so I'm thinking they could have rounded Bethany up just like the rest of them. Like you're going to be a victim too, but then she's not a target. She has nothing to do with why they're there. She has nothing to do with any of that. So she is allowed to be with Dylan, and they're just like, if you say something, you're next.
Bingo. That's my thought. Like, that's why her fear element is what has always had me kind of like watching that, what you just said, thinking that way, because the fear element that she presents through this whole thing is just way out there, and nobody else acts that way but her, which go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna also say like if she could have also been spared for the narrative. Because their whole narrative is like everyone was sleeping, Dylan was afraid, she ran out of Bethany. So if Bethany wasn't there, then where's Dylan?
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. Oh boy, a lot to think about. A lot to think about.
Yeah, that's true. Because like with Bethany calling Dylan first, if she wouldn't have, Dylan would have been able to say whatever she wanted. So that
I
little that
know, and then Bethany wouldn't have been. Yeah, Bethany wouldn't have even been needed though if she could have just came up with her own story too. I mean, it would be good to have somebody obviously corroborate that, but
yeah. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows?
More than one person, right?
We
yeah.
still have huge gaps in this timeline, and I'm just going to keep plugging away trying to fill them in. And you guys gave me a lot of good ideas to look into. I want to know who was on the Pi Beta Phi Council, like who is in charge of that whole thing. What's going on? What went on with Dylan there?
Me too.
Yeah, that's
Agreed.
You know what I really like him? I like your checklist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean what? When we did the questions?
Like on your little whiteboard and you check the things off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like
I
we're
do
in
the same
Idaho for
I do the
class.
same thing at work. I have a list and I check them off. Every time I check them off, I get like a dopamine hit.
Yeah. A gold star. A metaphorical gold star.
That's a mess, dude. I love it.
Well,
So
I
throw
did
it
that
all.
one. I loved doing that because we worked together as the chat, and we came up with a list of questions that we wanted to see if they asked in the
Yes.
interview. We did it before the interview came out, so then we listened to the interview, and then I went back and I was like, okay, which ones got answered? And if I wouldn't have done that, I would have come back and said they didn't answer any of our questions, but they really did answer about 10 of them,
They
which I
did.
was surprised.
It drives me
Yeah.
crazy because like I work with a lot of people. They don't keep lists or they don't keep track, and you try to get answers from people and they don't know, but they need to know these things so we can do certain other things.
That's
And
why you write the shit down.
exactly right.
Right.
And then you can check it off, and then you can go back in your records. Okay, we have all of this information, right?
I
And
do
then-
the same way.
Everybody's looking at you like you have four eyes.
Yep.
Yeah, and then
Well, you're
having
the know-it-all.
having the questions beforehand also helps with active listening.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. That's too much work, Moto. You can't make people do too much work.
Well,
That means you're an overachiever, Moto.
no, I'm. Yeah,
That's why I said you're a know-it-all because you keep a
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Yeah. Or I like to read. Read what we're supposed to do.
That's way
How
too.
dare
Yeah,
you?
that's way too much that you want to know what you're supposed to do. You're doing too much. You're doing too much.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Well, I'm spending like 16 hours of work, like on average a day. So
Whoa.
Oh my gosh. And do you work outside?
yeah,
Am I saying outdoor apparel? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's got to be rough in bad weather.
Especially in
it's not so
Canada.
bad. I
In
just sit in the
Canada.
truck. I just sit in the truck if it's bad.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming up here and talking with me.
Great show.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
Thank you
was-
so much. I love doing this.
Yeah.
Now, you guys know we need to head over to Truth and Transparency
That's
for
right.
the 1 p.m. show, and whenever that show's over is when I'll be live. So,
Okay.
Oh,
Can I
okay.
just say one last final thought?
Yes.
No,
Okay, my final thought is about Pistol Pete. That he creeps me out so much. I don't know how he's involved in it, but I have a gut feeling that he's involved in it somehow. He's giving, you remember that whole that scandal with the University of Iowa with the hazing with the
Yes.
guys? He's giving the Joseph guy. That's what Pistol Pete is giving to me. Like he runs shit and like I don't know, he's scary. He
He's-
is diabolical. Pistol Pete,
There-
there's
there's-
somebody there.
there's definitely a vibe that I got from him immediately that I was uncomfortable with. I agree with you,
He
and
makes me very uncomfortable.
yeah, it could be nothing or it could be something. So
Yeah.
just keep your side eye on him. That's all.
Do we
Side-
know his relationship with Dylan? Do they like? Because I know they bleep their names out, but do we?
He claimed in the interview that he didn't know her that well, but that doesn't mean shit to me. It just
I think he
doesn't.
knew Bethany the best.
Yeah, he said he did.
Oh
Besides,
yeah.
besides after
Bethany and
Dan
Maddie.
Ethan, it was Bethany.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
All right, you guys. I'm sure everybody wants to run over and watch this big collab over on Truth and Transparency. So,
Guys,
you guys are
Bye.
amazing. I love all your thoughts. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming.
thank you so much,
Thank
Kim.
you.
Thanks for having me again, dear. And I'll see you
Yeah.
guys soon. And hopefully I'll see you guys at my show later too.
Yeah,
Thank you
sure.
so much.
Yep, we will see everybody over at Dago's later too. Yep.
All right, guys. Let's go check out Miss Lana. Bye-bye, Kim.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, mods. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for all of the new peeps that we got added today. And I loved seeing all of you in the chat. I'm going to go back and look at your comments later because I get so much good information and questions from you guys. All right. I'll see you over at Truth and Transparency. I'm going to clock out for now. Have a great day, everybody. Happy Friday.
Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Subscribe, it's free and keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew now, right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. Practically unique, yeah, that's you and me. Don't forget to like and hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep, we crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep, we crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. We dig deep, we crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. It's free, it keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew, now right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife and proud to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. Yeah, that's you and me, that's you and me. Don't forget to like, hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear.